there, everybody. Welcome back to Joe and Jay Outspoken. You can find all of our stuff on Linktree/Joe and Jay Outspoken. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back to check out another episode.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Of our craziness, of our silliness.
Yeah. That's all we do.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about people and government. And, we just talk about everybody
in general.
Yeah. So, you know what? If you're one of those people that have been targeted by us, don't feel bad. We talk about everybody. So, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. And here we go over just some general current events.
We're just going to have a freestyle talk today.
Freestyle talk. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Couple weeks ago, we had the presidential debates. And
what wow joke that was.
Yeah, that was the most boring debate I've watched. In fact, it took like 3 sessions to have to sit down and watch the whole thing.
I
was like, really?
I think this was the most prepared president ever in history. He had 2 weeks or something. They said he was out at some base, religiously going over the questions, which is kind of shocking. Why would he go over questions that he didn't know he was going to have? Right. But that's another topic. But going through all this preparing, he was like, it was like that little video from Rocky where he's in Siberia and he's running and he's practicing in the snow. That was Biden. He was preparing for this lying orange man who is
he's a bad man.
He's a devil in disguise. Yeah. He was preparing and he just bombed, bro. I don't know if you saw that. There was a part where he just stood there blank. He had this blank stare at his face.
And his stares are really creepy. But you know what? Trump makes some funny faces. He's like,
but think about it, bro. You're standing in front of a camera. What face do you make? But there was a funny one where where Biden was talking and Trump's he's like, what is he saying?
Right. Yeah. He looked right over at him and then looked back. He's like, what is he? What is he? He just he went off in a ditch, man. So,
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm laughing now because it's funny, and I'll laugh again in 2 weeks and maybe 5 after that. But in reality, it's sad. It's almost like elderly abuse, you're pushing someone to be out there on the front lines, talk about, dude, you don't have the capacity to walk upstairs, let alone onto a podium in front of millions to debate someone has an advantage because he's not that old. I mean, age-wise, yes, but look at him. His mental capacity is so different between them right now.
That's right. There's such a discrepancy between the two of them. It's not even funny. Well, this was the longest intro ever. So,
was that the intro? I thought we were just getting into it. I'm like, forget the intro. We're in it, guys. That's not the intro. We're in it.
Yeah,
but we could pause. You could do the intro.
Yeah, let's do this. All right, everybody. Well, here we go. We already started off on this subject of the debate. So, yeah.
We're going to stay on it for now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whole thing, what a hot mess, man.
What, me going deeper into the intro than I needed to? Or
no, the debate itself was just...
Yeah, that was horrible. That was,
what were you thinking?
So, yes, and age-wise, they're both old. I get it. There was a lot of joking around about their age and stuff like that. And I get it. They're both old, but I haven't seen really a lot of young presidents. And I think that should be a position of not a senior citizen position, but a position where, the person has a little bit of life under their belt. You know what I mean? And that's why you pick a vice president. It's a little bit younger, right? To kind of balance out.
Right.
But the cognitive thinking of both presidents, you put them together and Trump has an advantage over him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that deals with billions of dollars every day in his business and whatnot, and dealt with this country at one point, and then you have Biden, who unfortunately and he's a human being like the rest of us. And I bag on the guy a lot because, of course, that's not the party that I favor. But if you take that out and start thinking about like just him as a human being, I mean, like, would you allow your grandfather to be dragged around doing this? Like, I'm like,
no, I
I'll
didn't
be
even
like, Pops,
pause on that.
I'll be like, Pops, you're done, man.
Yeah.
Let's just enjoy the rest of your life.
Right.
And that's just sad. And here's a problem, man, that people hate Trump so much they can't see past. Like, it's funny because I've been watching like, man, that was the greatest debate over. Biden killed him. All he had was lies. I'm like, did you guys really like
Did we watch the same debate?
Yeah, but you know what I loved was the fact that all these people, and I'm talking news channels, that were so anti-Trump, so blah blah blah, and this and that, just turn on Biden so quickly.
Oh yeah,
because that's how horrible that debate was. And I'm like, man, I mean, bro, we've been seeing this for a while now, and you're just now catching it because it's so blatant and obvious. You
can't lie about it.
You can't.
Did Trump do an amazing job? Do you think? I don't think he did like this stellar job or anything.
But why would you?
Well,
if you're going against something like that,
that's the thing.
Honestly,
he didn't even have to. He could do a mediocre job, and he still just like he walked away with the trophy no matter what,
Yeah.
And whether you like him or not, you don't have to like him. Anybody could admit that that whole thing was just
so let me tell you, this is
so terrible. And what's crazy is he talked. What was a day later? Biden. They had him on camera, and he actually sounded halfway decent.
That was his doppelganger. That wasn't him. That was the other guy.
It had to be. And he was talking mess about Trump, and I'm like, why didn't you put that guy up on stage against Trump?
Because clearly Hunter haven't given him his medication.
Maybe. Well, you know what? When they have him by himself, this is one of those curiosity things I've always had. I wear a tinfoil hat half the time. So when they first started, when Biden first took office, this was in the early parts of 2020.
1601.
He pulled the first cannon fodder for the Civil War. So he was like on stage or whatever, and people were in the Oval Office, and people noticed, they're like, hey, why's the trees look different than when they showed pictures of it before? You're not going to change the trees outside of the White House, right? Well, come to find out, and they finally admit it. They're like, oh, we do this in like it's a special office, a showroom and everything, where they set all the cameras up and everything. It's like
kind of like a studio.
Yeah, a studio. Why would you guys do that? The White House is a studio. Like they've been. So that was already something weird. And then there's all this stuff about Biden, they're being, like you say, like a doppelganger or whatever, wearing a mask because there's places on his neck. It's like you can see a mask or something. So did they have to really put the real guy up there? Because if Trump looked over and saw, hey, this guy's got a mask on.
Yeah, and you who knows?
I don't know.
I'm not a
that is not a fact, guys. It's just
it's opinion. That's what we do. We're this is just us talking what we do. Crap.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy to me because I'm like, okay, look, clearly Trump didn't have the best responses. He never did. He's very just like down to earth about what he responds. It's not meticulous. He doesn't think about it. He just says it.
Right.
And so I'm used to that. I really am used to that kind of response. But again, if you want to start saying, oh, well, he could have done better. Why would you? Like if I go against a clown, am I going to have serious responses when the clown is just making laughs? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna join the fun. You know what I mean? Poke fun at the bear. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it did, because it was like, like he was like, I don't know. To me, honestly, and this is apart from any kind of political party, he is too old to be on this platform, to be on a stage of the world, to represent America. Well, I get it. So the liberals are willing to put a dead body up there just to not have Trump.
Oh yeah,
that's
absolutely.
How far as they'll go. This is Weekend at Bernie's. This is this is the same thing. I mean, I'm not surprised that there's not a doppelganger of him or a body double or whatever it is you want to call it. Why would I be shocked if just going off topic here? You saw that movie that's coming out about the lunar landing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
in fact, you sent that to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, how far will we not go to maintain power?
Right.
Right. I mean, it's obvious thing. So yeah, that was crazy. So if those of you who saw that debate and think it was ridiculous, we're there with you, because I think it was ridiculous myself.
Well, one of the things, and how soon we all forget, is, they were trying to charge Biden, right? And the court said he was unfit to testify and be in court, right?
And now they're blocking those tapes.
And it's like, so you're telling me that, okay, so this is the courts admitting, obviously Trump has all these, how many felonies? 35 felonies?
34, something like that.
34, yeah. So he
Hello,
was,
baby.
Yeah. You get a gold ring if you get like up to 50 or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But so he's totally fit enough, right?
Yeah. Oh, clearly, if he's breaking the law. Yeah,
But the guy that's running the country now is not fit, and we saw during the debate that he was not fit. And so,
and remember when Pelosi tried to say he wasn't fit cognitively, he was not there. Remember when she tried to do that Article, I don't know,
25
or something? Yeah,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so maybe he's not fit to stand trial either. How you doing, Pelosi?
Yeah,
but no.
Yeah,
it's just funny, the double standard that we have. And you know what's weird? They don't want to release those tapes. Garland already said we're not going to release those tapes.
Mm-hmm.
It's irrelevant. And he's been subpoenaed to appear in Congress. Well, now that's the big battle. He says, I'm not going to show up for that subpoena, and now what they're trying to do is hold him in contempt and arrest him, because they said that Garland said, well, they don't have that power. Well, I believe that the what is that called? The something of arms. I don't know. It's all part of Congress, but the something of arms is he has that ability, or she has that ability to arrest someone for being in contempt of a congressional subpoena. So anyway, that was funny. If you guys watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some popcorn. Maybe did a little line. I don't know. It just helped you get through it. Whatever. But whatever floats your boat. Yeah. Hey, so real quick on a different topic. So you know how you and I have talked a lot about feminism, and they're out there talking about like girl power and all this thing.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. One of the funniest things I've seen. So there's this WNBA player right now, Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah,
she was like the #1 draft pick.
Yep.
And this young lady,
not for the Olympics.
No, clearly not. But this young lady, and let me tell you, we'll get into that, because I'm okay with that. She has to make her bones, even though she's doing.
Yeah, she's new.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have picked some of the people that are on there.
Right.
Anyway, she was like the #1 draft pick for the WNBA. She's been doing great, phenomenal playing, right?
Putting butts in seats,
bro. She has revitalized the WNBA. Like, I don't know if you saw the pictures, because they just recently played here with Arizona, against Arizona. If you would have see the video, someone put up a video of like 21, 22, 23, and then today when she played, seats were empty. Then 21, they're like nobody there, you know. And then they started getting a little bit more. But then when she showed up to play, packed house,
right?
Packed house. You couldn't get a seat, right? Because they all wanted to see her play.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's so funny.
She's a good player.
She's a great player. Here's a problem. She's white, right?
Of course. And
so now you have all these black players in the WNBA just talking crap, fouling her like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Specific ones. And then there was one that was so jealous, bro. She got on TV. It's like, all these people now starting to be coming to the WNBA. It's not because of her. I'm bringing seats. I'm like, girl, shut up. Ain't no one want to see you. Ain't no one want to see you, and stop bringing that up. Caitlin Clark's there for a reason. She was a #1 draft pick for a reason. She did great in the NCAA. She's doing great and she's breaking records as a rookie. She's outstanding. And to me, us, bro, I don't care about color, what color you are.
No.
If you're good at something, props to you, right? So my point is that where's feminism? Like, why is there so much like jealousy amongst women? Well, the real women.
Yeah,
the real women. Why is there so much jealousy amongst women? Like if I see a dude that is like just killing it, I'll be happy for that dude.
Right.
In general.
So think about, and this is the problem with feminism and
today.
Today, and we've used the WNBA in many examples before, But so name 5 basketball stars, male basketball stars from male that name 5 that are awesome, that are amazing. Just name 5 off the top of your head. And I'm not saying for us to necessarily say them you at home. Think of 5, and you're probably going to say a Michael Jordan. You're going to say a Kobe. You're going to say a this or that. Kareem. These are all black guys.
Yeah.
And all the white guys and the Mexican guys and the Asian guys and everybody in the audience that's into basketball does not care what color those guys are. All they care is that that's their team. That's their boy. He's tearing it up on the court.
Exactly.
And that's what they care about. And the thing is, when it comes to the women, they can't, so the problem with feminism is it is based in this ultra liberal idealism, right? And enough is never enough. Enough is never enough. So you have this girl that's crushing it on the court, but she doesn't fit now because it's become there's so many check marks that you have. So she's not a lesbian, right? Mm-hmm. She's not a woman of color.
You can say black.
She's not black. Whatever.
But even for men, like real quick, going back on what you said about men. We love. Remember, the Suns had a white player that was awesome, Steve Nash. Steve Nash was awesome. But again, we don't look at color. We see at performance. We see how they do what they.
You go back to
like your team.
Larry Bird was a great player.
Larry Bird's a great player. Yeah. He did a lot of things for basketball.
But you didn't look at him just because he's a white guy.
No,
you're like, I'm gonna vote.
We still don't do that.
No, it's so sports is a great equalizer.
Although there's a lot of haters, my Cowboys. I'm watching you people.
So sports is a great equalizer when it comes to all this kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
You have this what the heck's it called, where they want to put everybody of certain colors and sexual orientations into jobs, kind of all the DEI stuff and everything.
Affirmative action.
There you go. So affirmative action, because all these white people or all these males or whatever are running big companies and everything. Well, we need to have more people of color. Again, probably more black folks is what they're trying to say, and we need more women. And if they say women, it can be it's okay if you're a trans woman and all that kind of stuff. The thing is affirmative action doesn't work in sports. No. It doesn't work in basketball. So,
and of course, you're not going to have a DEI in sports because that means you have to hire more white guys for basketball.
That's right, and that doesn't make any sense.
No,
football.
Or Mexicans, bro. We're like 5'5". We ain't gonna make no basket. We ain't no Spud Webb.
Oh my gosh! See, there's another great guy. So yeah, it's the great equalizer. When you bring it back down to the lowest common denominator, it's like, listen, who do you want on your basketball team?
Yeah,
the best player. You want the person that's going to.
Who do you want flying your plane? Someone that qualifies for DEI.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So I want all the DEI.
I will be racist. I will be the most racist when it comes to my safety.
Yeah, that's right. So, all these DEI companies, you should be required to fly on the most DEI planes and everything else. And we'll slowly get rid of all these people. they'll weed themselves out in the whole thing. So
you ain't wrong.
No, man. Okay, we live in the desert. What do we need? And we learned that today. What do we need? We need air conditioning, right?
Air conditioning and water. A lot of
water. Yeah. So your air conditioner goes out on you and it's 2 a.m. and you call somebody. Do you care who they send out?
No.
Other than somebody that's qualified to fix your AC tonight. I don't care if they're purple, they got goofy hair, they show up in a pink Volkswagen or a what is it? A Subaru?
It would be a Subaru. If it's DI, it's going to be a Subaru.
I don't care. As long as they are the most qualified and they're going to fix my stuff.
At this point, I don't even care if you're trans.
I don't either.
If you're a good AC guy,
that's right.
Come on in.
I'll
be like this. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Maybe I'll get a discount. I don't know.
Put some extra filters in for you for free.
Yeah, how you doing?
So I worked for this company years ago, and we had a big warehouse, and it had racking in the warehouse, and you had to have sprinkler systems throughout the racking, right? And one of the sprinkler heads got broke inside the racking.
Oh, wow.
Of course, had to turn everything down, messed up a bunch of product and stuff like that. So they send out a plumber, and it's this. She was pretty built and everything, but kind of shorter built guy looking girl that came out, and she was amazing. And I, they always have the survey stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I told the company, I sent the survey back, emailed it back or whatever. And I told them, I said, send her every time. Because half the time when the guys come, you know what they do? They know somebody in the warehouse or whatever, and they start jaw jabbering with them and don't get the job. They take longer for and I said, send her next time, because she doesn't take any crap from the guys, and she just gets to work and does. So again, it doesn't, all this stuff, this DEI stuff, giving people fake trophies, participation trophies, doesn't work for the world. Get the best people for the job, right? Whatever it is, if it's a sport, if it's a, if every nurse is a woman because they just happen to do better jobs than any of the men can, great.
Do it.
I don't want a bad nurse. I don't care, again, what race they are, what sex, color, anything else. I want the best nurse you can get for me out there. So
I do have something against like those big nurses, because they manhandle you. I don't like that when I'm in the hospital.
The guys or the girls?
Either one.
Oh,
either one. I want a very soft-spoken, gentle, feminine man or a feminine woman, whatever. I just want it to be gentle.
Yeah, just be gentle to me.
Be gentle to me. But no, you're absolutely right.
It puts the lotion on its body.
Oh, here we go. But here we go. It was funny. My daughter, my ex was talking to me about. She has a little white poodle. Little dog.
Oh yeah, the dog.
Yeah, and her name's Princess. Precious. I mean,
yeah,
it's Precious. And Precious. And then when my ex told my daughter, she was like, "Oh," my daughter asked my ex. She goes, "Mom, you didn't name her after that movie, did you?" She goes, "I did."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my God!" Like she was all traumatized. I'm like, "That's a great movie. You put solution on the skin
in the basket."
That was awesome. This is my daughter thinking about like, what is it? That dog? What's going on? I'm like, it's just the name. Let it go. But yeah, anyway, like you were talking about, that is that Caitlin Clark's doing a great job for the WNBA. She's doing something that no one really has been able to do. She's bringing attention. She's bringing, even her being white, she's bringing diversity to the crowd, to the spectators. Right. Everyone's coming to see her. Young, the biggest thing is those young kids coming to see that influence that she's has. And that's the thing, the most important thing about sports. It's not how well you play, how many wins you have. It's that influence as a sports person, as an athlete, that you give this younger generation. That's the key. And if she's able to bring this younger generation into this and see like, hey, you know what? She's doing it.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it? Right. That's an inspiration. And to me, regardless of your skin color, if you're able to inspire people, then do it. Yeah. Don't sit there and start like criticizing her or just hating on her, especially you women. Y'all need to support another woman.
Well, the thing that's silly about it is, again, I said earlier, she's getting butts and seats, The biggest thing that the women will complain about,
WNBA.
that they will complain about is, well, the men make so much more money in the NBA. Yeah, because they sell out stadiums full. You guys can't sell out like a half part of the stadium. So the thing is you want to get as many butts in those seats as you can, sell more tickets.
And it'll be better for everybody.
It's better for everybody. All the girls will start making more money. And it's a snowball effect. As more people come, more people will talk about it. They'll say, hey, let's go. And the thing you want to really get, I'm sorry, but you want to get the guys interested in sports, because
getting it.
That's right. It is a statistical fact. Women will not. But hey, girl, let's go out this weekend and buy tickets to the new sports game. But guys will. But hey, bro, I got tickets to the whatever.
And I want to feel that moms that have young girls, young daughters, are driving that too. Yeah. I want to feel like, hey, you know what? Let me go take
my daughter
to go watch Caitlin Clark play basketball, and maybe it inspire her. All these young kids that play basketball now, they're starting to go to the WNBA because now they have someone they could actually look at and say, she's a woman, I'm a woman, I could do this. Yeah. Instead of just going to men's game and see, well, look, he's got all this advantage than I do as a woman. No, guess what? Now you got Caitlin Clark's out there that coming up, they're going to start filling them seats. If you have them that good, and she's good, watch her tapes for the NCAAs, and she is great. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you see her, here's the biggest thing, Jay, that I think I admire about her sportsmanship. Like, she tries not to get into altercations.
Mhm.
She walks away from him. The other day when she was playing against Arizona, she got fouled and she just kind of tossed the ball to hit the backboard. It was coming back and it looked like it was going to hit the Arizona player. So she went, turned around, saw it, hit the ball away. Well, that Arizona player thought that she was teasing her or mocking her, and she started like going at her. The other players from Arizona pulled her away. Well, later on, that player came to her and apologized after she knew what the. So she's bringing this sportsmanship back to the game, especially the WNBA, because they be hating on each other over there,
Right.
And so she's bringing something back that has been lacking. She's bringing people to this games, which has been lacking, and she's just like. And by the way, Arizona, she says, was the best audience that the best place to come and play. She loved it. She said the crowd was wonderful to her.
That's awesome.
And she actually got a standing ovation when she exited the court. So, and I think that's awesome because you're changing the stereotypes of the WNBA. You're changing the stereotypes of so many things with one player. And is it one player? Absolutely. It could be one player. Yeah. She's doing it. So you women, stop hating.
Yeah.
Be thankful that you have someone that we can look up to.
I mean, you think about how Jordan changed, a lot of the game, for guys. I mean, you had great players up till then, but
and how Magic Johnson changed the whole how many women you could have. And sorry,
totally different topic.
Sorry.
Yeah, and the example I would give is from all the years of playing in bands and stuff like that. I remember talking to a guy that was retired from a record company, and just having conversation with him, and I was asking him about what bands need to do and all this kind of stuff, and he said you need to sell a lot of beer. And I was like, what does that mean? As a band, do we need to get ice chests full of beer and hawk them for a couple bucks outside in the parking lot? I said no. So the club owner gets a band to come, and maybe he loves you, and he's like, oh man, you guys personally as a club, I'm the club owner, we love you guys, you're like my favorite band. And nobody shows up that night. Nobody drinks his beer. Nobody pays entrance fees. He doesn't make any money that night. In fact, he might lose money because he's got to pay his staff, a bunch of stuff. Next weekend, some band, he's like, I really don't like these guys. They pack the house, sell a lot of beer, a lot of entrance fees. Guess who's getting invited back?
That second band.
Absolutely. So it's all business. It's
ROI,
all
baby.
Return on investment. It is all based on who's going to bring the crowd, who's going to put the butts in the seats. And when it comes down to it, WNBA needs to learn that. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that they haven't figured out that one tiny little fact. And whatever they can do, to get people to be more interested, to buy tickets, to come down and watch a game, the better. I mean,
all I have to say is, Caitlin Clark, good job on how you play. Good job on your sportsmanship, because that's very important. And hopefully it could serve not just a example to the youth and the kids coming out, but to also other players. I think it's important that, you maintain that it's even the smallest things, Jay. And I hate to be picky, split hairs. Like they show, how players in the NBA, they come in, they got their suits, football player, everybody well dressed and really nice, right? You look at the WNBA, you see these girls wearing these hoochie shorts, half naked. Caitlin Clark comes in with a nice suit, nice pants. Like she is a professional,
right?
Like I'm here.
Represent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's the simplest of things because you're looking at people people are looking at you and they're like, look at her, like modest,
right?
She's great sportsmanship, great attitude, and then you see the rest of not the rest, but a lot of the women in the WNBA totally opposite.
Yeah.
And come on, man, you don't have to prove anything to other players. You have to prove things to the crowds, the people that come and watch you. That's what you got to prove it to. And you're doing a horrible job. So, Caitlin Clark, good job on that. We appreciate you. Good job. Keep playing. Don't get hurt. And go out there and watch the WNBA. We talk a lot of crap, so just prove us wrong.
Yeah,
we really do. We really do. Oh man,
it's such an easy target. It's kind of like Joe Biden.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
for international pressure. I don't know.
Anyway, so Harry Sisson, you heard of the guy?
Yep.
So after the debates, this guy is just funny. He is just funny. So after the debates happened, he goes on social. I personally think he's paid.
Paid actor,
a paid actor, but a influencer paid by the Democratic Party.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I personally think so. But he goes in after the debate and he's talking about, oh my God, my President Biden is doing so great, this and that, and they show like he puts this little thing graph behind his back where he says like this how much money they say how's how much money Biden got
raised
for the day of the debate and Monday. And this is all that Trump made the day of the debate. So you start looking at it and like, wait a minute, that's a big difference. But then you look, wait a minute, you have 2 days versus 1.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you little jokester. So someone caught that on social media and they started talking about it like, hey, bro, how could you compare when you have 2 days versus 1? Clearly when Trump got charged, how much money did he make then? In 24 hours. You know what I mean? So come on, let's.
I mean, it's dumb. It's like, man, I paid a lot less for my 1 tank of gas than you did for your 2.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's he did.
You make no sense.
So he made another thing. The SCOTUS they came up with that decision recently.
Supreme Court of the United States.
They came up with. Thank you. I'm so used to talking to you about it.
Yeah.
So they came up with a decision that they can't charge Trump during for presidential
anything during his presidency, right?
As long as it's not like as long as it's not like a blatant crime,
and guys, any other past presidents, okay? So
unless it's a blatant crime that that's clearly illegal or meant to be, they have to show that his intent wasn't that, right? So he puts Sisson, this Harry guy, he puts up this post like, well, with that decision, it seems that the president Biden could send SEAL Team 6 in to remove everybody or to get rid of everybody and to get rid of Trump specifically, and blah blah blah. And I think it was a campaign manager, someone put on there. He responded to that tweet or whatever it was. I can't be not verbatim, but I think he said, expect a visit or something like that.
Yeah.
So then he get back on his social platform, bro. And he started, what are they threatening my life and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, you literally just threatened the next president of the United States along with the Supreme Court justices.
Right.
He meant like, hey, be prepared to have a visit from Secret Service or the FBI, because you can't do that openly on social media, right? And everyone knows that. Look what happened to what's that girl, that crazy girl that she's been blasted now. She's an old comedy chick, red hair. She had that.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, look what happened to her when she had that little head picture of the chopped head of Trump. She got in trouble. And she got visited by people. So he takes things. He's so dramatic, bro. He reminds me of like the most dramatic person I know in life, just in general. Just pick someone. So that's him. Like he extremes to some of these things. And the bad thing about it is like he loves to lie. Like he likes to lie about things. And I'm like, bro, talk about rapists, Trump and all that. I'm like, you do realize that he was never charged as a rapist. Why do people continue to do that? He was in civil court, he lost. That's why he had to pay money. But it was never a criminal charge on raping anybody. Yeah. Right. Because you have to prove that. You can't prove it. This chick, whatever. But everyone likes to lie about that, right? Doesn't matter who it is. It could be what's her name, Waters, the Representative Waters. What the hell's her name?
Oh yeah, Maxine.
Yeah, she does it all the time, right?
Yeah, go up to their face. Don't.
Yeah, shaky Pelosi, right? That she hasn't had her alcohol in who knows how long, and whatever the case is, all these people. And this is the thing that we keep talking about, those double standards. Is how could they talk all these lies, all this crap about an individual that they despise for I don't know why, but then the moment that Trump makes a joke about something, like right away, like charge him. Like I'm surprised he didn't charge him for elderly abuse after that presidential debate, because he almost killed him. You know what I mean? Up there on stage. So
there was one of the things, I don't even remember what Trump was talking about, and you just see Joe over there. He was just so utterly confused.
I'm thinking, is he having seizures right now?
I know.
Is he like in the middle of a heart attack? What's going on? Because like, do you guys have first responders on the set because that was scary. Even when he got off stage, did you see that? Oh my God! All right, look, we're jumping around, but I got to talk about this guy.
When Jill's taking him off stage,
real quick, Harry Sisson, you're a joke, and we're done talking about you. So I'm going to jump back to the presidential debate. Anyway,
it's more interesting than you.
Bro, you're boring as hell. But did you see that? So Trump walks off stage like nothing. Like, yeah, I'm Big Daddy Trump, right? I'm walking out. Everybody cheers him on and stuff in the green room. But then Biden,
no audience.
So no audience.
Wow.
Someone had a camera. Someone on the set had a
camera.
I
saw it from up.
From
up
the boom, behind the booms and all that. And she's like,
she's got his arm.
Okay,
and
look,
he's like,
okay, it's funny, but it's not funny. Like
it's sad.
I remember walking my grandpa like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, be careful, don't fall on that step. There's a step right here. And he had to like slowly, like, it's sad, bro. And then later on, I guess there were another thing. And Jill, did you see Jill Biden?
Oh yeah.
Jill, you did great.
She
answered all the questions.
She was in that outfit that said vote all over.
And he's standing like this, bro. Like,
he's like,
and he starts smiling.
He's all,
I'm like
a third grader, you know.
Bro, I'm like,
you answered all the questions.
I'm like, okay, that's the minimum expectation.
You did so great. You answered all the questions.
And then she turns to the mic, and what did Trump do? Lie. I'm like, I'm sorry. Didn't your husband say that there was no military deaths during his presidency? I could count like 12, 13, 14, maybe 15.
Tell that to all the people over in, for all you people that are so hardcore on Palestine, tell us about that. How about the people in Israel? How about the people in Ukraine, Russia? Let's
how about the people? How about the people? Not just our military,
Afghanistan,
people in Afghanistan that died because of that ridiculous and sad pullout.
So our military, but there was also a bunch of
civilians from
Afghanistan that died, and that's
So did you ever see
talked about?
Did you ever see the videos where they actually climbed on the planes?
On the plane,
and they were falling off the planes when they took off. That's how desperate, because they knew they were going to get there. Chop, right? They knew that was going to happen, but Sleepy Joe. But anyway, it was sad to see that, and it really, it honestly, it kind of broke my heart. It discouraged me because I'm thinking, why would you do that to this man? Like, he is what he is. That guy.
We don't agree with him.
He's done so much things. People don't see it. People are clearly blind. Like they'll remember what Trump did when he wasn't a president. He was just a businessman, right? Only certain things they remember. But how quickly people forget about what Biden did and his racism back in the days. He stood there and held hands with the biggest racist in office. I don't know if you remember that old man that was like head of the KKK or something like that.
Yeah.
He even spoke. He spoke the eulogy at his funeral. He was his best friend. But people forget that. They don't remember Trump's 20 years ago, but they don't remember Biden and anything like that. But the point is, it's so heartbreaking to see that, because that's someone's grandfather. That's someone's, I'm not saying someone's dad because Hunter's a joke, but that's someone's grandfather, and or great grandfather at that point. But the biggest thing is, like, let it go. I understand you're wanting, and I'm talking about the Democratic Party. I understand their power hold to stay in power and control, but not at the cost of this old man. Like, he can't, bro. He cannot walk.
Well, there's a big percentage now that is of the Democrat Party that's wanting Joe to step aside.
Oh God, that means Newsom might be
that, and that's who they're really pushing to put in there. I think Bill Maher this last week, he had a quote or something saying that Biden needs to step down and put Newsom in.
That's a joke. Look what he's done to California.
Yeah,
that's going to happen to all of the U.S.
Right.
Not just California. You can't put. Here's the thing, man. People need to start looking at not just how cool you are or how good of a talker you are.
No,
because clearly we know Trump is not a great talker.
Right.
But what did he do for the country as a whole? Stop being so personal about things. What did he do as a country?
Yeah,
I think that we need to start looking at what could they do. What's the next? Like the Democratic Party should look at, like, hey, what the next person we pick? What can they do for our country? Not for our pockets, for us, but like for the country as a whole.
Yeah,
because of
there's a problem.
We're never going to win that war because it's all about
me.
Exactly.
Well, and I've said this before, and this is a very special time in history.
I'm out of apple juice, by the way.
Apple juice. Who stole my apple juice? this is a very particular time in history that we have two men that are going up against each other, that we have history with them. 4 years and 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Biden hasn't quite had a full 4 years yet, but it's getting close to it.
I hope he makes
So you have two guys that you've seen their actual 4 years and accomplishments and failures, right? In 4 years. Really forget the two men for a minute.
Okay.
Forget the parties for a minute. Forget everything. Take 4 years and 4 years, and which 4 year period do you want to repeat again in the next 4 years? For me, it's not the last 4 we've or 3.5 we've went through, you know. So
Yeah.
regardless of who the guy is, and that I think that's the thing that, you know, a lot of people, if they have half a brain, they're coming to a realization. Hey, listen, I may not like Trump, I may not agree with everything with him, but man, things were a lot better when he was running the country. And, you know, and you're seeing that a lot more with people that were specifically Democrat voters for the last, you know, umpteen cycles or whatever. And that's, I mean, it's very apparent. You have a Joe Biden, go back 40 years. He was saying all the same stuff. He was saying racist nonsense, everything else. And he's like, we're going to fix the economy. Dude, you have been in there for 40 years and you haven't, almost 50 years, and you haven't done anything for the economy. All right. You've never made a decision that made any sense for the economy. Now, go back to Gavin Newsom. We were just talking about him. That guy was a governor, right? And you can look this stuff up. There are so many clips of him going, oh, well, we're going to spend X amount of dollars. You know, we need taxes and blah, blah, blah for homeless. We're going to fix the homeless thing and more taxes, and it's going to fix the homeless. Money. And here we are again. Climate change, homelessness, all of this stuff. They don't want homelessness to go away. You know why? It's a moneymaker. They don't want cancer to go away. You know why? It's a moneymaker.
We were in San Diego recently. How many homeless people did you see over there? Oh, the encampments under the bridges and stuff like that. Oh,
man. Crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, clearly.
Tons.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, so we're over there and then I cross over into AZ, right? And you're going through the mountains and everything. And there's none under any of the bridges. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But the thing is because we don't have, if you're going to live anywhere, right? And you're going to have to live off of a system, where are you going to live? The place that the system gives you the most stuff. Right. And that
I need a cell phone paid for. I'm going to California.
Yeah. That doesn't, it's not promoting people getting off the streets or getting well or what have you. Cause, and I really,
there's no incentives.
No, there's no incentives. I really push on getting well because that's either mental health and or drug and alcohol use,
or both.
Yeah.
That one that led to the other.
One
or
vice
versa.
To the other.
So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that I've recently been seeing, bro, and I can't get enough with our news outlets or scientists of the world. I just can't. It's just so ridiculous. So one of the most recent things that I read about was how climate change is inherently racist. And I read that, and I think it was in the United Nations, and a lot of people started talking about it. I'm like, what the hell? How is that happening?
Think about the foolery right there. Think about it.
So one of the things that there's two examples they brought up. One was Hurricane Katrina, right?
Mm-hmm.
It devastated New Orleans.
Right.
But they said it targeted black communities most. I'm like, then in that case, Hurricane Katrina is racist. It ain't climate change.
That's some amazing cloud seeding right there. Let me say, they're doing an amazing job to be able to focus on specific.
And then the next one was 12 years later was Hurricane Harvey.
Oh, Harvey.
That devastated Houston.
Well, he sounds a little racist. So.
Right. Well, Harvey's clearly a racist. That devastated Houston, mostly poor neighborhoods. I'm thinking, well, I don't think climate change is the problem. I think them hurricanes are the problem.
Yeah.
They're the racist sons of bitches.
We need to stop having hurricanes.
So, I mean, I don't know how to start this one, but how ignorant can people be? I mean, have scientists really given up on science and just become, they want to be complacent with the world? I mean, I don't understand. Like, could you imagine like a scientist saying, oh, yeah, that's racist based on all the facts? I'm like, bro, unless the governments are controlling those hurricanes by remote control, you know, how can it be racist? It's, you know, climate change. First of all, let me be clear. I don't even believe in that, in global warming, climate change, all that stuff, right? But to say that is racist, I mean, that's just like saying drunk drivers are discriminative. They always target like the innocent people. You know, it's true. You're going to have to hit someone that's not involved, right? So same thing with the weather.
There's a better chance you're going to hit, if you're drunk, you're going to hit somebody that's not drunk.
Right. Right.
Know?
But that's an obvious thing.
Right.
So to say that, I'm like,
no,
like, have we given up on science? Like,
no. So it's an ignorant thing to say because, okay, so the hurricanes where they hit Louisiana and places like that, they obviously affect the coastlines more and lowlands, right? For whatever reason,
flooding, lowlands,
for whatever reason, the people that were affected were predominantly black and this and that. That just happens to be the neighborhoods they're in. So you're saying, we'll see. That's why it's racist.
But we're talking about New Orleans and Louisiana. There's a lot of black folks there.
There is. Their population's much higher there. So you're going to tell me that on the Pacific coast, when those landslides and everything happen and there's those $1 million homes that slide off and everybody's like, they're millionaires, who cares about it? Were those racist towards them because they're wealthy, they're going after them? Nobody thinks that. Nobody cares about that because they're wealthy people, right? So the climate is not going after specific people or races or anything. If you're in a climate danger zone, that's one of the things that's really nice about us living here, right?
Yeah.
We don't have hurricanes. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have floods. The little bit of flooding.
We have heat warnings.
We have
a lot of
heat warnings. Yeah. So we do have,
stay inside. You're going to die in 2 minutes. Yeah.
So the hail is probably one of the worst things we have. We have
hail. Hail is always
hail.
Good. Oh, hail. They said hell. I'm like, that's pretty bad.
Hail.
You southern now, boy?
Let me pronounce that. Hail. The haboobs, which the only thing they do is mess up your,
and that's a real thing. That's not a racist comment. It's a big dirt storm.
It's a big dirt storm. Yeah. Like they have over in the Middle East and stuff like that. That's where the word comes from and then I don't know what would be the other thing.
Think about it.
Oh, flash floods.
Yeah, we get them out here, but because of the mountains and stuff like that, low valleys.
So flash flood, right? And they come along, and if you ever see a flash flood, it's really weird. It looks like dirt moving because you don't really see the water.
A lot of caliche,
and just tumbleweeds and everything.
So
else
they're racist against homeless people because it's going to go through all the homeless
encampments. It is. It's going to go through the homeless encampment. So it doesn't like homeless people. And you know what it really doesn't like? Stupid people. Ones that drive across.
That drive through there where it says do not enter when flooded.
When flooded, don't drive there.
Clearly.
I can make it.
That's a self-corrected problem. But another example is like now clearly racism is being impacted in Hawaii. The fires. It affected all of them Hawaiians. The big fire in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Remember the one that they still haven't done nothing with? They still have closed and they haven't been able to build or get a building permit yet. Weird.
Yeah, we can fix everything in Ukraine, but we can't fix anything for our.
Wait a minute. Mr. President Biden gave him $700, bro. $700. That's a lot of money.
Scratch my last comment.
Yeah. Joke. Yet the Ukrainians out there living and partying while our citizens are here suffering. But yeah, so guys, if you see any sudden weather change, that's due to racism. So be careful. Make sure you go inside the house. Avoid the racism of the weather.
Yeah.
Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. So as Mexican, yeah, I try to stay inside because look, I'm getting dark and that sun hates me. It really does. He's all, you're a Mexican boy. You need to look like one. So I'm getting burnt. So clearly racist, look at Jay. White as ever. Clearly the sun favors him.
Yeah.
Racism.
I stay away from it.
So yeah, all kidding aside, guys, let's be a little bit smarter than the smart scientists and not blame race for everything. You know what I mean? That's kind of ridiculous to me. Man, I feel like we're getting desperate nowadays. Like we got to blame something. Yeah, it can't be the weather. It just can't be like, oh, it was a hurricane. No, it can't be that. It has to be. It's racist. It's based on racism.
Well,
ridiculous.
We're in the midst of summer. It's in the 115s and stuff here, and you would say, well, gosh, that's got to be climate change. It's so hot. You know what happened last summer?
It's always hot.
It was hot last summer. You know what happened like 10 summers ago? It was freaking hot.
I think the hottest recorded summer, it was in like 85 or 95. It was 125.
Yeah.
125, and it hasn't been there since that long ago.
Right.
So clearly, it's not getting worse.
Well, around the globe, the United States, there's a max heat map, and it tells you the hottest recorded days around the United States. And a lot of those go back to like the 1930s, 40s, and 50s is when they had the hottest recorded days in these states. Some of them go back even farther than that. So, listen, it's technically getting cooler actually during the,
Oh, don't say that, because now they're going to say that we're going into like all of a sudden into another.
Oh gosh,
what do you call it? Glacier or
ice age?
Ice age, bro. Don't say that, because they're going to flip it on us, and then we're the bad guys.
It's pretty funny with the weather. It's cyclical. So it's summer right now. What's going to come next? Fall, and then after that, winter, and then spring, and then we'll be right back where we're at.
Although here we'll never see those changes.
Yeah, no.
It's still going to be hot, but somewhere like Michigan, beautiful. You guys can go visit Michigan. Can you tell I miss it sometimes?
Do you?
Oh man,
just during the summer months, right? During the winter months,
the summer is a little humid over there because all the water. It's just a little humid. So, but no, I don't believe in this, guys. I don't. Forgive me if I insult you by saying I don't believe like the weather's changing or there's holes in the ozone. My chonies have holes and they work just fine. So whatever.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us for another episode. This was a little different today. We just wanted to kind of go over some stuff there's so much stuff happening every week.
We can't make it a base. We can't make it one topic about these things. Some of these are just ridiculous and they don't deserve too much time.
Right.
But today I thought it was funny that we just did something because there's just so much funny stuff going out there, man. Just I think that's what media is good for nowadays, is a good laugh.
Right.
So
that's about it. Most legacy media is a joke anyway. So all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure you take care of one another.
Remember to do better, be better.
And as always,
God bless America. We'll see you.
See you.